A frontal assault, providing cover for infantry and taking massive damage upon itself.
If an anti-tank guided missile strikes right here, like a Cornet or a similar weapon, the protective armor activates and deflects it.
During the full-scale war between Russia and Ukraine, tens of thousands of tanks have burned on the battlefield. The emergence of FPV drones, and as a result, huge columns of destroyed heavy equipment, prompted the armed forces to upgrade tanks in field conditions. So-called grills, turtles, and barns are some of the countermeasures. Tanks remain an integral part of the war, whose importance on the battlefield cannot be overstated. Which vehicle is the most protected and safest in modern warfare? How have Russia and Ukraine designed and upgraded tank protection against drones? This and more, coming up in the arsenal. To begin with, it should be noted that a tank is an offensive weapon designed for large-scale use. Every tank has the following main advantages: reinforced armor protection, firepower, and mobility. Today, tank armor provides reliable protection for the crew from small arms fire, machine gun fire, shrapnel, artillery shells, and anti-personnel mines.
The fundamental role of a tank is not so much to provide fire support for infantry or to participate in effectively breaking through defensive lines, but rather to ensure the safety and preservation of the lives of its crew on the battlefield. And only after the crew, all other functions are secondary.
Preserving the lives of personnel. In this key aspect for tanks, the leader is considered to be the heavy Abrams tank currently in service with the Ukrainian armed forces. Despite the fact that the American tank was created in the 1980s, the US Army is extending its service life all the way to 2050.
The year 2050. Speaking of the American Abrams, these tanks have an exceptionally sophisticated level of armor, which significantly increases the tank's protection against a comprehensive and diverse range of munitions, including armor-piercing rounds, armor-piercing, fin-stabilized sub-caliber shells, high explosive, along with various other specialized projectiles, and basically the structural integrity of the armor plating itself. The Abrams is considered one of the best in the world, one of the best, not the very best, but among the top. In terms of protection, this is a very high rating for tanks.
There is no need to replace the Abrams, since engineers are constantly upgrading the combat vehicle. Mainly, this involves reinforcing the armor and adding new, modern digital systems. For example, the latest version of the Abrams, the M1A2, has given the commander an independent thermal imaging sight and a new generation of uranium armor.
A few days ago, we were carrying out various tasks assigned by the command. We engage the enemy, both infantry and equipment. We don't fight in a straightforward way. It's not tank versus tank. If that were indeed the case, the T-72 wouldn't have any realistic chance of surviving against the Abrams. The Abrams is equipped with armor-piercing shells with depleted uranium. They work great, piercing through armor. We would like to have more pure, high-explosive shells from our American partners. That would allow us to carry out an even wider range of tasks. It is equipped with thermal imaging sights for both the main gun and the machine gun. In other words, the tank is fully outfitted for combat, both during the day and at night.
The technical specifications of the Abrams are as follows. Its combat weight is 60 tons. The engine power is 1,500 horsepower. The maximum speed on the highway is 67 kilometers per hour. The range, again on the highway, is 480 kilometers. The tank is armed with a 120mm gun and a large-caliber Browning machine gun. The tank crew consists of 4 people due to the absence of an automatic loading system. The American tank costs $4.5 to $6 million based on its upgrade level. The Abrams also features isolated ammunition storage to protect the crew. Whereas in Soviet and Russian tanks, all the ammunition is located directly in the turret, and in the event of a direct hit and detonation of the ammunition, the crew has no chance of survival whatsoever. The crew of the American tank, on the other hand, has every chance to survive a hit and even an ammunition detonation.
The M1 Abrams is equipped with a safety system that separates the crew from the main gun ammunition. This ammunition is stored within a specific compartment in the rear of the turret, which is protected by heavy armored doors designed to protect the soldiers from a potential blast. Or again, it is arranged in such a way that when an explosion occurs, blow-off panels on the outside are triggered. That is, the main blast wave doesn't go inside the tank, it is carefully directed through these panels into the vastness of open space.
In response to the widespread use of cheap FPV drones on the front lines by both Russian and Ukrainian forces, so-called barns, grills, and turtles began to appear. That's what these angular, bulky protective structures on tank armor started being called during the war, and then in social media and the press. The first examples of Russian ingenuity, to put it mildly, raised doubts. Firstly, Russian barns often failed the test against Ukrainian drones. Secondly, the geniuses of Russian field engineering turned the combat vehicle into a huge, immobile metal coffin on tracks.
You don't have to be a highly skilled mechanical engineer to understand that these hastily welded large shields, heavy metal plates, and various other materials significantly compromise another important quality of the tank. That is mobility. And by the way, firepower is a separate issue, because when it comes to the turret, can it even turn? Basically, they turn into, like the self-propelled guns from the trench warfare era, where the gun was fixed in place. So they try to significantly enhance one specific quality of the tank at the direct expense of its other essential capabilities.
At the same time, from an economic standpoint, mangals and sheds are the most cost-effective and easily accessible means of protection against cheap FPV strikes. Over time, mangals began to evolve. Equipping tanks with metal grids, so-called dreads and sheets, has reached a new level. And now, in particular in the Ukrainian armed forces, in addition to providing extra protection for the combat vehicle, the negative impact on maneuverability and mobility is minimized. Of the mangal tank.
These brooms around the perimeter of the tank, or as they're also called, dreads. This sophisticated combination of wires with reactive armor panels and what is commonly referred to as an anti-drone hood. All this provided the crew with a much greater sense of security, while under frequent attacks from Russian FPV drones.
Over time, FPV drones and the so-called Tsar Mangals became yet another turn in the ongoing battle between shield and sword, where the evolution of offensive weapons brings about new, sometimes unexpected solutions in defense systems.
A technical device for transporting personnel. The sides are completely encased in heavy-duty sheet metal, and positioned directly on the upper surface, there is specialized mining rubber. Between the armored capsule and the outer mangle structure, thick wooden logs have been strategically placed along both sides. The roof is welded with sheet metal on top. Rubber.
That's all for now. Don't forget to write in the comments which types of weapons you'd like to learn more about. Like this video and of course subscribe to our Arsenal channel. The link is in the description below the video.